Hi Scorpio, thank you so much for coming on in for your bonus shadow scry. Here's your ink blot that will inspire our meditative state for insights. We'll add on tarot and oracle. As well, we've got the ghost tube seer version here for any visual inspirations that may arise. So thank you so much. All right, Scorpios, if you'd like to close the eyes with me, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's go. Scorpios. Okay, I gotta bring it in. I gotta dive right in here because I'm seeing like three characters. But they're like three different totem poles. Yeah, they're like totems. One is like I'm seeing, if you were to see a scene of a beach and there's like a piece of driftwood standing up and then maybe it's a pelican. Doesn't matter. There's some sort of bird standing on top of it and like somebody captures that moment. So one of them is that. Another one I think is like a leaf. It's this little animal, but I don't know what it is. Could be like a little fox or like a Pomeranian or Chihuahua with like long-haired Chihuahua. Some sort of dog-esque. And what's this other one? It's like a caterpillar coming out of its cocoon. So these are the things that I'm seeing as these totems. And I'm very specifically being told to say totems for one reason or another. And hopefully you can see me okay as my other cat is sleeping in normally my other chair. And then my other cat, I didn't want to disturb any of them. So I had to shift the table. These totems. There's also something about a wood carving. There's also somebody who's been laid to rest most recently. Okay, so I'm carrying a casket. Now there's 6 people. Yep, the 3 went to 6. Somebody's past, Scorpios. Is it a version of you? It does feel male, bald head. I want to say they feel older, like they didn't go before their time. Something about the eyes to the head. So I don't know if that was some sort of injury or like frontal something or other. You know what I mean? If there's some sort of illness or disease that laid them to rest. I'm also seeing the inside of something. I don't know. I can't determine what it is. So I'm going to add on a few cards here in a moment. It's like something was left for me. Okay, so even if I wasn't one of the bearers of such, it's like when I went up to the casket or something, or ashes to say something, I was given a gift. And when I say that, it's not like, oh, and you're given a gift. But it's, you were given a gift. Like that's how it sounds. You're given a gift. I don't know. Feels very matter of fact to me. And then it was almost like, and I don't know if you saw something, recognized something, or you said something at that moment, and whatever you said was heard. Whatever you saw was seen. Whatever you expressed was felt. I was standing behind you and that like holding you with a hug as you laid your eyes upon my earthly vessel, knowing my soul and my spirit was with you, right behind you. This might have even happened to somebody when they were young, and it holds as a memory. Like, just very clearly holds as a memory. When I was young and my grandpa passed, or when I was young, my uncle, my brother, somebody older than me. And I remember, but I was given a gift, and it seems so matter-of-factly because I feel like the gift is I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. And normally I don't try to hold back. Hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Please don't have this burden over your heavy heart. Please do not carry it like you're constantly carrying my casket. Scorpios, if this isn't your story of an external person to you, but you're holding space for someone to hear that, so I thank you. That is a beautiful gift that you in turn give to others. But if it's not external to you, this is like a part of you that you have been carrying something heavy for a long, long time. And even if it hasn't been a long, long time, simply by the sheer weight of it, 1 minute feels like a million minutes. And you're being asked to release it. Yes, there is an unknown, of course, of where you might be going, because it's like when you've been carrying something for so long, or, you're holding something up on the ceiling, fixing a light fixture, and you're like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? And because your arms are falling asleep. And that's what it feels like. Don't go numb. Don't go numb. I'm going to flip this. Scorpios, this is intense. Intense. I'm seeing a bunch of koi, goldfish, any sort of fish, coming up to the surface to feed. When somebody sprinkles food in an aquarium or in a pond, and then all the fish come up to eat. This is the gift I keep giving you. Please eat, nourish. Please eat. If anyone has an eating disorder, please eat. But again, this also comes in that other space. Of myself, the people around me, when I feed myself and feed others in the channels that I wish to create in subconsciously, we're in the shadow aspect here. Shadow not being scary, but Scorpios, there is something definitely dark and dank that you've been carrying around. But even though your heart burns with passion, strength, the lore and love of the legacy of your DNA, if it was your brother, your uncle, etc., it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Whatever this death was that you may remember, or the death of yourself, like a little part of me died, then be reborn. And I'm going to be there with you. I'm going to be there with you. For somebody else, this is moving through a block or an obstacle in the subconscious space. Something about holding my lineage hostage. I'm using it as, and I'm just saying, I'm using it as an excuse. I'm using it as the foundations in which I say why I can't. And I'm changing that. I'm changing that because I realize what I'm carrying by feeling that I have to carry the family karma or the family tradition, this, that, or the other. Apply whatever it is, the pressure. You've already been so brave to wander into a path or to pursue what it is that you want, creating through the ashes. And then I just heard that band's name, Third Eye Blind. Does that mean something? I feel like that might have a different meaning that I don't know about, or I don't, I just don't know. 5 of Wands in the World. Don't worry that they're upside down. My cards are in chaos, and unless I feel the call to keep it, I release it. The 5 of Wands, like, stop beating yourself up, is what I'm hearing. And the 5 of Wands is ending like, I am crawling away from this. Even if I'm going to start to crawl, even if it starts with a crawl. The fight in the family, and I'm not saying there is, fighting, but maybe it's within myself. And I'm just going to start to army crawl away from it. And as the world turns and as the world burns, in whatever that is, in whatever respect or channel that is, I'm going to call upon my ancestors in spirit, the brothers and sisters I have well beyond this lifetime. Well beyond this lifetime. Who are so there to say, you choose. I don't know if you've been trampled through something, or you've had to be very defensive to protect a part of your persona, a part of your personality, ego. I don't know what it is. And on the flip side, maybe just to protect yourself in a particular dynamic. Maybe it's at work. Maybe it's at home. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's working through grief. But I feel like those who do choose to hunker down, to get away from some sort of drama and disaster. Be your own savior, and spirit will support that choice as well. It's like there's no damnation, right? There's no, I don't know, it's not there. You've had death and night of hazards. You know me, if anything means anything to you, please follow that. On the bottom, we have the High Priestess. Okay, so the High Priestess and the Strength. This whole third eye blind thing, or third eye blooming or blind, it's the High Priestess energy. This is where your strength is. Knowing and connecting to ancestors well beyond this lineage. And that's not dismissing anyone, including this lineage if they have passed on. If they step forward and you guys align and your heart doesn't have to burn and ache. I don't know if that gentleman or somebody passed in a car accident. Could have been. There's something like being transmitted through this Five of Wands. I don't know what it is, but it again feels like heavy enough, like I've been carrying a casket for a long time. From the EC deck of questions that can inspire introspection or contemplation. If you could instantly tap into a state of euphoria, describe what that feeling would be. Scorpios, this is a beautiful question because this, there's two here. Wonderful. This is deep stuff. This is big hearts. Big hearts. And you've been through some hurts and you are persevering very proudly, if I may say, and you should be proud of yourself, along with those who are also proud of you, even if those people are not in front of you, the way that you have persevered. So take a moment to consider what euphoria feels like, and it could feel so calm. It could feel exciting. Maybe even just thinking about that, contemplating. That's in the conscious realm. In the subconscious realm, we have what are some key factors that separate emotional pain from physical pain? Again, deep stuff, Scorpios. And I feel like this has been here in your reading. I gotta get off my foot, sorry. I don't know why I feel the need to make all these weird faces when I do things, but it will always be there. So hopefully you find them endearing or entertaining anyway. I feel like it's been there, that we've been talking about it in some respects, this emotional pain and physical pain. And for some, there's a prominent one. For others, there is a blend. But they're communicating with each other. They're communicating. And then in the pre-conscious realm here, was there ever a time in your life where you thought you were impervious to anxiety or depression? I want to note here, just as it's stepping forward, as I'm like sinking in my chair, this high priestess is asking me to consider or inspire fire as a cleansing and also creation. So whether you write something down and release it, or you have friends and you go to a bonfire, whatever the case may be, and it establishes some sort of death and rebirth and death that brings you back online, brings you in color. Yep. Okay. Closing out messages here for Scorpios. If there's anything else I'm seeing in your ink blot, thank you so much for being my muse. If I didn't say so already, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. It truly is appreciated. I don't know if anything's come up on the ghost seer, but freedom, 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 freedom. Thank you. Okay, I can't even say the word. Love of change, though, is coming through. Metatheosophilia. That's my effort there for you, if that means anything to you. Or, of course, take a screenshot. Somebody did pass at night in a car accident. They're kind of over there. But this feels about you. Scorps, I'm going to stay in you. You're in a time of transformation and change. The love of this change, to love this change, and to know that anyone that you have lost as you are grieving or going through any sort of griefs, please know that they are in love with this change with you, for you. Some of you Scorpios have been at war with something. 5 of Wands. You have within the self, I'm not sure. 0 of Cups. Maybe hearing the song Stranded as well as on the bottom. So maybe this is in regards to that DNA of your family, this, that, or the other, or where you came from, adopted orphans, and the thoughts that come along with that, or the contemplations, not necessarily truths, but you never know, questions never answered. Somebody passes, something never gets answered. Within myself, when I see the 0 of Cups with the stranded and the ancestors, it's like you were never stranded. Spirit has always been with you, and I know that's not necessarily a comforting thing to say in the midst of, but I'm physically alone. Find friends, find family, build family that we will embody and we will work through, so that you recognize us always, always. And the 0 of Cups brings me into, I think it's Chinese, maybe it's Japanese, but there's some sort of beautiful ritual that if something's broken, then they put it back together with gold or some sort of, gold essence. Maybe it's silver. Use whatever feels good. It makes it more valuable. It makes it more valuable when you put yourself together on your terms, and releasing the hardness that of like this gargoyle over your heart, that hangs over your happiness. If there's a fear of, if I'm going to be happy, what's going to come? If I could instantly tap into euphoria, but is it going to turn off as well? There's also something about working through instant gratification, if anyone's working through that. Looking at the long game versus the short game. And the love of change, time, caterpillar to the butterfly. And that was in your ink blot as well. And all these fish are coming up to feed and feast with you. And then I'm seeing it like those fish that they would put in like for pedicures. And they do something. but they're helping and you're also feeding the fish. It's a whole ecosystem. It's about the ecosystem. And this is in your subconscious realm. And I feel protected. I do feel protected. And it's like, but sometimes I don't want to admit that. Because then that, I can't hold on. I'm just being honest. It makes me feel in this very moment that I can't hold on to the hurt. And that hurt has power. And it does. But it keeps you in a particular state. It keeps you connected to a certain vibe. And it's not in a judgment of what's right or wrong. But it is. And even if this vibe is not yours, and you're the black sheep of whatever situation this is, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go. Spirits. I'm going to work with spirit siblings, spirit ancestors. This drama isn't for me. It's unhealthy. But I'm always here, if you want to have a real conversation about who I am. Because I think you are your own key. If you've been thinking that the keys are floating around in different contexts and different channels, or, my parents hold a key, my uncle holds the key, or, my brother, my sister, my job, my work, my boss, they all got keys. I feel like it's you. Handing them out, call them back in. Whoever has keys to your home, call them back in. Change your locks. Start from there. I hope this makes sense. I have pumpkin and altar coming through to close out your message, Scorpios. Pumpkin, uncaging the spirit within thou, the fertile power you hold. To taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift I shall cherish each day that comes. I'll read the other one. Feel free to take a snapshot. Altar, a sacred devotion, a worship skin deep rising. From the ash, the waters you keep. This is like that casket I also saw in the beginning. This altar in which you worship, positive or negative, that brings waters through. The elements and third harvest. Closing out messages here. Elements, remember to feel the warmth pulsing through her womb. You are a child of mother. True harmony awaits you. There are many mothers. Third harvest, daughters of the woods, feel thy sacred swell with suppleness. Taste the gathering of honey's milk filling your emptiness. Scorpios, I hope that you can feel the immense amount of love. And I'm going to use love as a very encompassing vibration through all the different elements in which spirit in so many ways, shapes, and form, including your own, your subconscious, your higher self, those that have passed on, etc., that are blatantly coming through for you to harvest harmony, to uncage your power, transform it, to move beyond skin deep of, oh, it's because you're this or this, I must, I have to, or, oh, it just keeps going past, because they, they're my mom, I just, put up with it. And again, just using those words as an example, you know what I mean? Or they're going through grief, so we can, they're grieving, they're mourning, so, there's an erraticness that is just kind of, and it's like, do you know what I'm saying? You're creating, everybody's creating, even as destruction is happening. But Scorpios, in this moment in time, you are reaping a harvest of harmony. And there is something about wheat. I saw it earlier, thank you, in the shibboleth. There's something about wheat. I don't think I ever said it. It's in his eyes or his eyebrows. And there's the harvest, seeing the harvest, picking the harvest, picking your battles. Picking your battles. Because you are an element worth having. You are an element worth having in a party of people. You are an element worth having, an essence having. And it feels really, again, very proud. Somebody's is very, very proud of you. And I hope you feel that. All right. I am going to let you go, Scorpios. If I did not say so already, please do like, share, and subscribe. It truly does help the channel grow for those who donate. And if you'd like a personal, all the links are below in the description box. And until next time, thank you for being my muse.